If I was to say to you, you know we couldn't get much further. Are you ready? Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
It's an alternative opening ceremony party. It's not only proudly, it's defiantly unofficial. It's not anti-Olympics, it's not against sport. It's a celebration of what a better games might look like, a games for all, a games in which people can participate in, rather than sit on the sofa and watch it via the remote. Because if that is the vision for a home games, then it might as well be taking place in any other country on earth, minus the inconvenience and minus the expense.
The message is that the Olympian spirit, sport, fun and pleasure is an extraordinary thing, and that excellence, unpredictability are worth celebrating and engaging with. It's just a tragedy that it gets tied to a whole load of totally implausible claims about city reconstruction, legacy and corporate sponsorship.
There's not a sponsor's logo to be seen, there's not a gold medal to be won. Tonight is a mix of ideas, campaign messages. It's a celebration of British sporting humour. It's a celebration of British sporting history. But most of all, as with all philosophy football events, it's a party with a purpose, which mixes up ideas and entertainment.
Well, this evening, the TUC is helping sponsor the event. We do a lot of work with philosophy football because we know that what they give us is exactly a rich mix, down here at Rich Mix, of politics, fun, music, everybody getting together. It's always a fantastic evening whenever we do an evening with philosophy football. We think it's not impossible to mix a message with some music and some fun. We want the Olympics to be a huge success, and we're sure it will be, and the Paralympics too that comes after it. And we want the Olympics to go on being a good event for everybody. In fact, we want it to get better and better as the years go on. We want people to learn from the experience of the London 2012 Olympics and Paralympics and make sure that the Rio Games are the most ethical, the best games they've ever been. We're here today to make the point that the Olympics is supposed to be about fairness and respect and equality, and that should apply to workers involved in the Olympics. There are athletes who are union members, there are the people who help build the stadium, who are running the event, who are organising transport to the event, but most importantly tonight we're focusing on the people who make the sportswear and the badges and mascots for the Olympics, often abroad, often working in sweatshops, without respect, without decent wages, without proper health and safety.
An alternative opening ceremony party celebrates a better games for all.
So what I want to do is really just give you a flavour of what these different events were. And we start in 1612 at the beautiful Cotswold town of Chipping Camden, where Robert Dover, a lawyer, a chap on the horse at the front here, a Catholic leading lawyer, took over a local festival, a Whitsuntide festival, and called it Olympic. He had a lot of friends who were poets, including Ben Jonson, not the drug guy, the other guy, and they started referring to these as the Olympic Games. They had their tongues firmly in their cheeks. They were just showing off their Renaissance learning, but they knew all about classical history. But a really good example of the long-lived British Olympics. Next up, we go to the town of Much Wenlock in Shropshire. Now that's made famous for us this year because one of the variously described as CCTV lookalike penis-headed mascots, Wenlock, alongside Mandeville, gets his name from this town. And it was in 1850 that William Penny Brooks, the Father Jack lookalike with the top hat and all the medals on himself there, set up a branch of the Reading Society called the Olympian Class. And it was there to promote, in his words, the moral, intellectual and physical well-being of the working people of Wenlock. It was classic, rational recreation, Victorian philanthropy. They died out in the interwar period, but they were a very important festival for the key reason that in 1890, a young French aristocrat, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, visited Wenlock. And it was from that visit that Coubertin stopped just writing about the need to reform sport and the need to reform sport and education, and started writing about the need to revive the Olympic Games. And it's absolutely from there, that was his place of epiphany.
The reason why yachting, rowing and equestrianism are almost always won by the same countries, and entire continents have never won a medal. And sports like football, boxing, middle and long distance running are won by countries all over the world is because the former require expensive kit, expensive facilities, and have no mass appeal and no professional basis, and very complicated rules. The reason why long distance running, boxing and football are almost universal is because they're simple, require no special kit, have simple rules, and have a professional basis in which people can aspire to get out of poverty through sport.
My parents came to Britain from India in 1968. 1960s, here were the options: Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham, West Midlands. Forced to sit at the back of the bus, get to drive the bus. So I'm very grateful to my parents for many reasons. One of the things that I'm grateful to them for is both of them massive fans of sport. So I've got to say now, hand on heart, I am, and always have been, obsessed with the Olympics. As a kid, my mum and dad would regale me with stories of the amazing gold medals that India had won over the years at the Olympics. You must know them by heart now. The 1928 men's hockey, the 1932 men's hockey, the 1936 men's hockey, the 1948 men's hockey. In fact, my dad always used to say that the main tragedy of World War II is that India missed out on two absolute certain men's hockey gold medals.
Well, it's a good mix because it starts from the position that we like sport, we think it's a good thing, we like excellence, we like all that amazing stuff, fantastic, but that doesn't mean we have to park our critical facilities at the door. I'm all for spectacle, but you know, what kind of spectacle? I mean, one of the interesting things, genuinely, I think about 2012, is that they've given the opening ceremony to someone who's a bit left field, right? You know, I mean, every other time it's been in the hands of very, very safe and controllable people. And I think, well, you know, the one slightly left field decision made by Locog was to give this to Danny Boyle. I'm ready to give the man the benefit of the doubt, you know, and we'll see how he goes.
The real question here is why we keep, or not, I don't, and I hope a lot of you don't, but why so many people keep believing this discourse of legacy when it's essentially a routinized, formulaic form of public lie.
That's not to say the next 2 and a bit weeks won't be a fantastic festival of fun and sport, but the politicians are allowed to get away with the absolute myth that the Olympics will deliver more jobs, investment, participation in sport. It's not true.
The truth of it is that, you know, for most people, most of the time, it's not what's going to get them inspired, healthy and out there doing sport, though. You know, if you want an example of that, you need to go to Finland, right, which is the place where the most people are doing the most exercises at all age ranges, right, in which case you just need to build decent facilities on quite a large scale and make them available to people, and then they will use them.
It's not just specific to London 2012 either. It's that time after time, city after city, cycle after cycle, Olympiad after Olympiad, the same bogus arguments are presented.
Let's ban the word legacy. Let's celebrate the Olympics as a great festival of sport, popular internationalism at its best. But the politicians make all these claims which are simply not sustainable in fact.
And the final crowning irony there, of course, is that area is now patrolled by 15,000 soldiers, which is more soldiers than we have in Helmand, more soldiers than we have in the whole of Afghanistan. 15,000 troops now in Stratford. And what is this called? This is called regeneration for the East End. The spirit, I understand, of today's event is not to be grumpy about the Olympics, as we've been hearing. It's to revisit the ideals, to revitalise and revisit the ideals of the Olympics. And I think we should be doing the same for the concept of regeneration. Who benefits, for example, from the forced removal of hundreds of small businesses to create a site for the corporate sponsors Coca-Cola, Samsung and McDonald's, and all the many others? Who benefits from this very rapid erection of blank-faced, gardenless expensive apartments in high-rise blocks which are springing up all the way from Stratford to Poplar now, at the same time as the London Borough of Newham is having to rehouse tenants in Stoke-on-Trent. And as someone who lives in the East End, I just want to tell you what the symbol of the icon, if you like, of the games is for local people. The original deal, as you may remember, when the bargains were struck, was that the marathon would be run through the East End. Now, the marathon, and this is perhaps the first the Olympic historian can tell me, now the marathon is not even ending at the Olympic Stadium. It is happening exclusively in the wealthier, more photogenic West End and ending in Hyde Park. And that, for local people, is the sort of symbol of the relationship between the Olympic authorities and the East End.
We've got a world record holder with us tonight, Rod Labour.
Take this ping pong ball, put it in my mouth, throw the hat in the air. While the hat's spinning in the air, I'm going to shoot the ball into the hat in that fraction of a moment that I have, and then catch the hat on my head with the ball inside it. Can it be done? No. You see, that is the kind of challenge I like. No. And the fact is, it probably can't. But it's that kind of a night. I'm going to go for it because it's not all about winning, is it? Okay, here we go. Ball's in the mouth. Hat's in my hand. Hat's going to go in the air. Ball in the hat. Hat on the head. Ball inside it.
Anybody come up with a credible reason why juggling shouldn't be an Olympic sport now?
As a kid, I had three big obsessions. One was the Olympics, to which we're going to come. One was cricket, to which we're going to come. But also, massive football fan. That's right, gay man football, deal with it. Most gay friends I have think that Man City is some sort of sex resort. So there you go.
I loved Paul's set. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and I've loved everything I've seen tonight.
He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really, really good. All the acts were good. They were excellent. Really worth coming down here.
I'm up and down the west way, in and out the lights. All these things on the system, it's so bright. I hope you will run away to spend the night. Then spinning around the yellow light. None of
I thought it was a good mix of like being critical, but also seeing there's an enjoyment about it as well. Because often the comedians make a lot of critical points as well, and it just feels like you're in a group of people who all got the same take on the world, so it's really nice.
Yeah, very good. No, really good. It really enlightened me. Like, you know, seeing the other side, because I'm pro Olympics, but you can see, like, yeah, you can see all the, as you say, all the corporate stuff. Like,
it's definitely a message.
Thank you. Did you enjoy that as much as we did? Thank you for having me. We've been a Chesty Vogel Girls Swing Band. This has been the Alternative Opening Ceremony.